As I mentioned previously, it's fifth Sunday of the month, so it's a special fifth Sunday healing celebration for us. And we can't emphasize enough that healing is not fixing broken stuff. It's not about correcting an error. Healing is the revealing of the truth. I'll give you a quick example that if there's somebody who's feeling burned out and got way too much on their list of things to do, all they want is some quiet and solitude. And healing for them is getting to that place of harmony and balance and quiet and peace. And somebody else who's having the experience of loneliness, of not having enough people to connect with, about having that experience of lack in their life, they would like the healing to be exactly the opposite. So the healing isn't in the experience, the healing is in the way that that balance and harmony fits together for us. And Carolyn's going to talk a little bit about her perspectives on that from a couple of different roles that she's had in as a healer. Carolyn?
And I'm going to follow our beloved Reverend Bill's example, and I'm going to begin with speaking from my experience. And many of you may or may not know that I spent the majority of my working life as a psychiatric nurse. And one of the things I noticed was there were some remarkable similarities between the people that I encountered in my spiritual center and also in my work setting. And first of all, these were very, very intelligent people. They were free thinkers, creative, very intuitive, very sensitive, and none of them either had the desire or did fit into that mold, which comes along with what Don Miguel Ruiz refers to as living the dream of the planet or domestication. And so I'm going to begin just talking about knowing who we are, who we really are. And first of all, no one of us is any more divine, gifted, talented, or whatever than any other. And we are all the creations of this one, whatever name we wish to call it. And we were created with love, in original innocence, pristine, pure, perfect, whole, and abilities and gifts to share with all life, which we are one with. And that's who we are. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we got to the issue of healing became something for us. And what I'm going to use for that is this process Don Miguel Ruiz talks about so much about domestication. And it's also referred to as living the dream of the planet or the world. And that happens from the moment you're born. And it's just your interactions with the outer world. It begins with parents and siblings. Well, originally it begins with like you're in the delivery room and you've got nurses wiping stuff all over your body and doing this and putting under your healing lamp or do whatever they're doing. So it begins from the moment you're born. And you're interacting with the parents and like you know what you learn, I think, and this is the point where you learn how to live life from the outside in rather than the inside out, as Michael Singer teaches us. So you learn, or you can manipulate, you can get punishments or rewards from your behaviors or whatever, or kind of get what you want. So that's our first, when we're interacting with that. And that interaction, it moves from parents, we deal with religious institutions, we go to school. We are part of a neighborhood, a community, a culture, and society at large. And so with all of those interactions, the basic beliefs, the mores, the thou shalt not, the shalts, and all of that, and that gets impressed upon like these little sweet little innocent beings that do not have the capacity to even understand what is being impressed upon them, but they still take it in. And so that you know that so and what I'm sorry, what Don Miguel Ruiz says, he says this process itself, this process of domestication obscures our true nature. And that brings me to a story that I can remember hearing quite a while ago, and you probably most of you may have heard this before. And this is about like a 3 or 4 year old little boy who just got a new baby sister, and several times a day he'd come into her room and just come up to her crib and whisper in her ear. And his mother came in one day because she was curious about what he was saying to his sister. And he was just simply asking her a question. And he was asking her, please tell me what it is like to be so close to God. It has been so long for me that I do not remember. And that story has stuck with me for quite a while. And so, and in this process of domestication, we get hurt sometimes. There are painful experiences, and so we develop what Michael Singer refers to as samskaras, which serve as the energetic internalization of whatever this painful experience is, and also they act as blocks for that life force, that Shakti, that prana, whatever you want to call it, to move through. And so we all have our different experiences. And for example, like the examples that come to mind for me is like when we're dealing with religion, possibly some of the samskaras can be like developing a sense of shame, or beginning to fear a God that we know is very loving, or just affecting just general self-esteem. Or when we're of age to go to school, it's like, well, children by nature, they're very energetic, and you just can't feed them with enough information and allow them to be too creative. They just want to create and go and learn and learn and learn. And so many times, the school system they're in just doesn't have the ability or the capacity to keep these very intelligent, gifted children engaged and interested. And that is not the fault of the child. And some of them are lucky enough maybe to get into homeschooling, or well, every child is gifted, so I hesitate to use this word, or a school that is for gifted children. So many of them, because they're not paying attention in class, because they're bored, there's nothing to keep them engaged. So they get labeled as ADHD or having a learning disability, and that is not the truth. And somehow there's some, and for many children, luckily for some children, they have some adult in their life, or an aunt and uncle, or someone who like will give them a little bit extra attention, or give them more opportunities to create and express. But some of them don't. But it's not the fault of the school system. It's not the fault of the child. They're just being children. And the other thing I can speak to is like we do everybody, like again, like since birth, we're right away we're dealing with the medical system, unless you have a home birth, something like that. And with that one, it seems to be like I can speak to like what happens in the psychiatric system and mental health is like someone gets sent to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and I understand this process is kind of falling out of favor, where they're given intelligence tests or psychological testing, and the person disappears. They become a diagnosis. And when this energy is trying to come through, and if there is a samskara there, it will come through often as like what we would call a symptom or an effect. And so much of this, again, like when originally how we learned how to manipulate the outside world, so much of that stays around in so many things. And in like psychiatry, unless someone is lucky enough to find a therapist or even a minister or a practitioner who is schooled in metaphysical principles, the treatment is like something from the outside. It's like, and right now, like the predominant thing is like medication. And at the very least, what they can do is maybe provide a little bit of temporary relief. And at worst, they can exacerbate the condition. But in any case, what's going on with this is this they're dealing in the world of effect, these outer things, rather than like to me, like any of these symptoms is an invitation to go deeper, to go into cause, because there must be a cause for this. And often, like I said, unless they find somebody who's schooled in doing that kind of thing, cause just falls by the wayside. The person itself falls by the wayside. It's just a constellation of symptoms and a diagnosis. And to move beyond that, it's like, well, eventually each of us, even sometimes it may not happen until adulthood, develops the willingness and the ability to understand, to reason, and to question all of these things that were impressed upon them at such an early age when they didn't have that capacity. And then when they reach that point, then they are fully at choice as to whether they want to continue being part of this dream for the planet or to participate in this domestication. And for people who find their way into a new thought center, they learn spiritual law. And then again, they also learn that then once again, they are at choice, that these spiritual laws are always ongoing. They are at choice to align with them. They are at choice to do their own inner work to release whatever is holding whatever this condition, effect, or what is in place. But this law, as we know, I mean, it's very basic to us, that law just creates whatever is put into it. And if those beliefs are not released, and they are still going into the law, and it's just creating more and more of the same. So that's where the issue of healing comes in. And of course, like Reverend Bill said, healing is not fixing, changing, manipulating anything. Healing is revealing the truth, your true nature, and allowing that true nature to express. And in order to do that, that inner work has to be done. Those beliefs or whatever it is, those samskaras have to be resolved, or those beliefs need to be released. And once they are, everyone is free to live as who they truly are, what they were created to be this beautiful light of God. But it's necessary to do that inner work. But also there's another side to this too, like particularly with, I've seen in psychiatric conditions, if somebody's in, like if a woman is in an abusive relationship, or there are toxic relationships going on, or anything like that, it's like, of course, you're going to take practical action. You're going to get this woman to safety. And there are people that you're just going to have to say goodbye to and just release from your life. And then again, with all of that, it's like with the healing is what we do, rather than focusing on what we do not want to see, our focus is on the feeling, this new feeling we are inviting in to replace this old belief we have released, what we're inviting in. And again, that focus is not on the form, how it's going to come about, it is on the feeling itself. and just allowing that to unfold. And as that unfolds, and when all that internal work is done, there is absolutely nothing to hold anything that we would deem, quote, undesirable in place. There's nothing to support it whatsoever. And whatever you're putting into the law with a changed consciousness is going to bring that right back to you. And so we're responsible to do our work. And for me, like when I think about the resurrection, I don't really necessarily think about crucifixion, crosses, and all that stuff. What I think about is, it is, for lack of a better term, it's just dying to the old or releasing the old, everything which no longer serves you, so you can fully embrace and experience your true nature. And in your true nature, you become aware that you are part of this oneness. You become aligned with your true nature, every aspect of yourself, with all of life, because all of life is one, and ultimately in your relationship with the divine. And to me, that is the resurrection. And this is the process of healing.
Thank you, Carolyn. Beautiful, beautiful. And as you're talking, I'm remembering that I spent most of fourth grade sitting in the hall because my teacher, whose name, honest to God, was Miss Lynch, couldn't handle me. And it turns out there wasn't really something wrong with me, because fifth grade was fabulous. And little things like that get to be the reminder. Yeah, we don't need to have a crucifixion up on the cross experience with an actual cross to go through that transformational experience of having the challenges, the difficulties, the problems in the world, and then go through that transformation to open up to a brand new possibility. There's something brewing inside of us that is new, that is wonderful, and Breen is going to lead us on a meditation as we explore that.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Carolyn. So much good stuff to think in, yes, to take in and to think about, but to think in that inside job. It's not the outside, as Carolyn was saying. It's not, the world and the conditioning. It's that divine spark within each of us that is yearning to reveal itself. So we're going to take that idea into meditation. So I invite you to get still, get comfortable. Find it helps to sit with your back straight. If you're in a chair, put your feet flat on the floor. Maybe put your hands in your lap, palms up. And just relax. And we're going to take a series of 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in fully. We're going to hold for just a moment, feel a little tension build. Then exhale fully. And feel that tension release. With every exhale, relax even more. So breathe in deeply. Hold. And exhale. Feel that tension release as you exhale and feel yourself relax. Another deep breath in, breathing in fully. Hold. And exhale. Feel yourself relax even more. One more deep breath in. Hold. Hold just a moment longer. Feel that tension. And exhale. Feel yourself relax even more. Allow your breath to find a gentle, even pace. Whatever's comfortable for you. open yourself. Open your heart. Open your mind to that divine spark within. The truth is, you are a bright light of divine love, expressing into the world in unique and wonderful ways. There may be some area of your life where you're not aware of that. The experience of your life is maybe appears different from that. It could be in your work, in your creative expression in the world, in your physical body, in your relationships. In your finances. Or in your spiritual practice. Maybe some area where spirit is seeking to express new and different ways. Just open to that. Accept the guidance. As we heard in the reading, I accept divine guidance. How is Spirit seeking to express through you? Don't think about where you aren't. Focus on where you're going. And how will it feel? When you let go of those old beliefs and old ideas and that old conditioning and open to that expression of Spirit. I accept divine guidance. I accept divine guidance. We'll take that into the silence. I accept divine guidance. I accept divine guidance. In this moment, in this next experience of our celebration, we're going to light a candle. It's a representation of this new intention, this new expression of spirit. Candle itself has no power. It's not magical. It's just a representation of that divine light shining. So I invite you now, if you have a candle with you, when you're ready to set that intention for that new experience, to light that candle. And if you don't have a candle with you, you've got the candle can. Bill will be lighting candles. You can choose one of those candles. To represent that new intention, that new experience of spirit in your life. Well, Ginger sings us another song.
open ourselves to source, open that connection and use it, see it, accept it, allow it. Roll away the stones that are in our path. Fear, doubt, ego, separation, and see with the eyes of love and oneness. See the love, see the faith, see the connections, the heart, and the oneness. Allow yourself to be resurrected. Claim your freedom and your truth. That source that is all life, all good, flows through each one of us. There for our use and our taking. Open to it. Today we celebrate rising above, rising over, renewal. And our intentions symbolize and feed into all of that. It is all available. So for each person's intention or intentions, for their willingness and their love and their connection, I claim it. I allow it. I accept it. And with gratitude, I take all of these intentions, all of this good, knowing that it is made so. Because we have that connection with Source to do it, to have it, to be it. So with gratitude, I release my word to the law that always says yes. And it never comes back void. And so it is.